and then the bombing resumed. Boo! Shame on them! In return, we are expected to stay silent. Our government wants to intimidate us, to shut down our movements. They attempt to misrepresent us through the insulting statements we saw from the likes of Sunak and Braverman these past few days. Shame on them! Make no mistake, these moves aim to distract from the fact that every minute they don't call for a ceasefire. They are complicit in the ethnic cleansing taking place in Gaza. Those horrific scenes we're seeing out of Gaza, they could not have been possible without our politicians' unconditional support, without UK arms, without our taxes. So finally, to those who wish to misrepresent us, or to those who remain unclear about why we stand, what we stand for, allow me to state it clearly. We are marching for ceasefire. We are marching for the end of the genocide in Gaza. We are marching for the end to the occupation and settler colonial system. We are marching for the liberation of Palestinians.
Thank you, Rahman. Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Next up, make some noise for Ahmed Massoud, Palestinian playwright and author from Gaza, and Farah Shama, Palestinian writer and performer.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being here. This is exactly what we want as Palestinians from Gaza and from Palestine and from everywhere, is to be here with you amongst friends and amongst people who understand. My family and my parents, my mum, my siblings are all in the Jabalia camp right now, and they're all in great danger. They're facing bombs. They don't know if they're going to live or not the next day. They don't know if they're going to live the next minute or the next hour. And every minute, every day, I cry and I break down 1,000 times. And yesterday, I said to my mum, I'm falling. I can't take this anymore. I can't take it inside me. And she said to me something, no, you can't fall. You can't do that because we will need you. We will need your arms to fall on. And this is my message to you. We need you right now more than anything else. We need you to be with us. We need your arms to be wide open and to hold us. Hold our name and hold our beautiful culture, beautiful Palestinians. Thank you. I want you to think about us as people, as humans. I want you to think of Gaza and Palestine. I want you to write Jabalia on a piece of paper. Stick it everywhere you go. Look at the map. Look at the names of Beit Lahia, Beit Hanun, Khan Yunis. Remember them, because that's their plan. They want to ethnically cleanse us. They want to drive us out of our homes, like they did back in 1948, when Tel Aviv became Tel Aviv. We want to change that. We can't wait for it to happen and to be ethnically cleansed. That's their plan. I want you to look at pictures of Gaza and the glistening Mediterranean. Think of yourself there, taking a holiday, taking a train, going to Jerusalem or Cairo. And remember those, and hold us in your memories, because that's the least we can do. Talk about us, read our books, read our beautiful literature. Farah and I, we've done this as writers We've written about Palestine a million times. We talked about it. Talk about us, please, and tell your friends, and march with us next Saturday as well. A few years ago, Israel bombed a theater in Gaza. The only theater in Gaza that gave us so much life and happiness. And Farah Halal wrote about it. And we talked about it. And we will continue to talk about all of these things that may not be important to people. I want you to remember all of that. I want you to be with us. And free, free! Free, free! Palestine!
من المية للمية من المية للمية ومن المية للمية. I'm going to read something in Arabic that I wrote for Gaza, for مؤسسة سعيد المسحال, the theater that was bombed by the Israelis in 2018. Let's not forget that they kill our artists, they kill our writers, they killed Ghassan Kanafani, they killed Najil Ali in London. Let's not forget that. And this piece is about them killing us, never kills us. Look at us, we are here, we are the voices. رح أقرأها بالعربي هلا. لما قصفوا مؤسسة سعيد المسحال ما بكينا، وقفنا قدام الأنقاض ونطينا من فكرة لفكرة، من غسان كنفاني لناجي علي، ووضحت الفكرة. هدول ما ماتوا مش رح يموتوا، فكل ما يختالوا منا قصيدة رح نكتب بدالها 10. ليش قصفتوا المسرح يا ترى؟ لأنكم أنذال وجبن بتخافوا من أغانينا ومن فننا، فاسمعوا صوتنا كل ما تخرسوا واحد منا. قصفتوا مسرح؟ إيه نحن رح نقصف عمركم ياسمين من شامنا ودمنا. بدكم يانا نعيش بشعين يعشش فينا غضب يسممنا؟ ما حذرتوا، نحن اللي عايشين بالفكرة وانتوا اللي عايشين بتزويرها. نحن ضوء الشمس وانتوا ضوء كهرباء سارقينها. بنيتوا جدار حوالين حالكم وسميتوا حالكم أحرار، فسمعوا صوت حريتكم للأسرى، وسمعوا صوت حريتكم للعمى، وشوفوا كيف رح نبني سما فوق سماكم العكر. فالأرض بتشهد إنه الأحرار بيعيشوا بيموتوا بالفكرة، والفكرة ما بتموت، الفكرة ما بتموت. We will not break as much anger and love as it takes. We will not break as much anger and love as it takes. We will not break as much anger and love as it takes. I see the Israeli apartheid wall falling. 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 Please show your appreciation for Ahmed and Farah. Notice that the majority of our speakers here today will be Palestinian. Our next speaker is from another of the organizations that has called today's rallies and our previous demonstrations. From Friends of Al-Aqsa, please welcome Shamil Jordan.
what's happening. If there's anyone near the front of the stage who is a doctor or otherwise a medical professional, we've got one. Okay, we've got one. Just get a little bit of space around the person that's been taken ill. Thank you. We've got a route to them, so we'll make sure they're getting what they need. Just to reassure everyone, it's being sorted, they're getting the attention that they need. Free, free! 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 1, 2, 3, 4!
'Assalamu brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum everyone, friends, everyone. All I see from here is love. All I see here are people who are calling for justice. All I see from here is people standing with the people of Palestine. All I see from here is beautiful people calling for justice. All I see from here is flags waving high in the sky for free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Let's done all together! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! When we are told that we are hate marchers, I do not see that. As I said, all I see here is love. All I see here is humanity. What I don't see from our MPs is an ounce of humanity. It's almost been a month, and how many of them have been able to muster the simple word of ceasefire? Shame on them! How little humanity do our leaders have when they see the bombs dropping on the innocent children of Palestine, and they still find it difficult to call for a ceasefire. But do you know what? The British public, we have no such problem. We call for a ceasefire. What do we want? Ceasefire. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Ceasefire. When do we want it? Now when they try to stifle the voice of justice, it becomes incumbent on every single person here, every single person watching, to spread the message that next Saturday at 12 o'clock we shall be at Hyde Park for a national national demonstration to stand with the people of Palestine. So just to see if we're listening, we're going to be at Hyde Park at 12 o'clock next Saturday. Everyone, what time are we going to be at Hyde Park? Next Saturday, where are we going to be? Together, we shall march to the US Embassy, demanding justice, freedom for the Palestinian people, and an immediate ceasefire. Ceasefire now! What do we want? When do we want it? I'm promising one more thing before I go. Remember what the politicians are saying right now. If they have not called for a ceasefire now, next year when the general elections come, we do not vote for them. No ceasefire, no vote. Thank you very much. Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Oh, and one more for the Home Secretary. Special one. From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Flag in the air! From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
I'll see you all and your friends and your network next Saturday, 12 o'clock, Hyde Park. Let's do it for Palestine.
Make some noise for Chanel! Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8!
Israelis a terrorist state!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? Next up, please welcome Rita Jabedo, speaking on behalf of the children of Palestine.
Assalamu alaikum. As a Palestinian girl, I'm here to talk about what is happening in Gaza. Gaza has become a graveyard for thousands of children since the war started. One Palestinian child has been killed every 10 minutes. Until now, the Israeli occupation forces have killed nearly 4,000 innocent children in Gaza. On the other hand, thousands of kids have experienced the sight of terror and genocide, such as losing their homes, loved ones, and even not being able to sleep from the sound of illegal bombs and rockets being launched at them. People in Gaza are being deprived of their essential needs like food and clean water. What is the guilt of children to be orphaned when they haven't done anything? During the cold nights, children do not even have proper clothes or shelters to keep them warm. More than 500 kids have also lost their identity due to them being separated from their parents and are predicting their death soon. What a tragedy! Yesterday, I saw photos of women and children. Yesterday, I saw photos of women and children, traumatized kids receiving treatment on the floors of hospitals. And yet, Israel is still bombing these hospitals, in addition to UN schools, just to kill as many as possible. Where is the humanity? Where is the humanity? How is Israel defending itself by killing innocent lives and leaving children to suffer? How would you feel if you were in that situation? How would you feel when the blood of your own mother was all over your hands? Honestly, I feel very helpless and disgusted about what is happening in Gaza right now. As Israel has taken away the future of these people, how can a child live after losing every member of their family? This happens in Gaza, unfortunately. sympathy. We need actions. We need an immediate ceasefire and open the Rafah border between Gaza and Egypt to allow humanitarian aid and food supply to enter Gaza. We need our voices to be heard to stop this genocide and to stop Israel from committing more war crimes. Save the children!
Make some noise for Rita. She's 13 years old. This is her first time speaking in public. Also, she is fantastic speaking for all the thousands of children killed, injured, orphaned by Israel. Now, our next speaker, you might recognize from Instagram, from his cooking videos. He has more than 3 million followers. He's also a Palestinian from Gaza. Please welcome Abu Julia.
Friends of Palestine, thank you for coming today. My name is Mohammed and I am from Gaza. Normally, I would address my millions of followers by saying, Habaibna lazam, which is the most Gazan phrase to say, and it means my dearest of friends. But today, you are my dearest friends, and you are the new million. We have come here today to tell the world leaders that Gaza deserves to live. The people of Gaza are no less than any other human beings. Children of Gaza are just children. How can you not care for children? One beautiful child is killed every 10 minutes in Gaza now. Does anything in that sentence sound right? Can you live a normal day after hearing that? What we are witnessing now is nothing but a Palestinian Holocaust. Gaza is a beautiful city. Its beach represents peace. Its food represents warmness. And its people represent kindness. All of which is being taken away from us right now. I myself have lived in a neighborhood in Gaza called Al-Shidaiya. And if I go back to Gaza now, I will not be able to recognize it due to the destruction. People of Gaza, including my family, are having their last breath. When my friends and I speak to our families in Gaza, it feels that it is the last time we will ever speak to them. Life means nothing to us without them. Every second goes by, the world collapses for somebody in Gaza. The young man who lost his bride 2 weeks before the wedding. The parents who lost their first daughter after 17 years of trying. And the son who lost both his parents in one day, 2 siblings in the next day, and the last sibling on the third. And they don't just die. They don't just stop breathing on a clean hospital bed. But you only see them turn into ashes in front of you, or next to you, or on top of you. This madness has to stop. World leaders should come to their senses and get over their political views and act humanely for a second. They need to put themselves in the shoes of the people in Gaza. Habaibna al-Lazam, I wish I can be with my people in Gaza. I would do anything to alleviate their suffering. I wish I can cook for women and children of Gaza while they have a rest. My friends, I'm not a political person. I'm just a human being, and my message to our government is that this madness must stop now. The killing of civilians must get their full attention and rescue. I join you in the calling for ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Rahat, the hospital room, been bombed. The terrible things that have been going on. So I asked my sister, who's also an actress, would she opponent the war? And she did. And so I'm going to read it to you. The poem is called Here in London, and it's by Betsy. This is the Betsy Mark. 7 a.m. I saw the sky rising. A strip of blue, a smell of pink. Somewhere else, over the sea. The world is on the brink of war, but here in London, just that strip of blue. Other skies got lots of fire. But here in London, just a strip of blue. And sleep has disappeared because the pain and grief flash lightly on our screens. We see the people suffer. We hear their screams. Helpless and enormous. Helpless to move. We try to understand what's going on. But they couldn't do. Useless ways. And other streets of I just want to say that we can't give up.
Thank you, Kika. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? What do we want it? And where are we meeting next Saturday? And at what time? We'll be there. And this is not a march for hate. This is a march for love. This is a march for justice. This is a march for peace. How dare they call us hate marches when they are the ones providing the weapons? So we will see you next Saturday at Hyde Park. Now our next speaker is another star of stage and screen. But I just want to make sure that you know something before I introduce our next speaker. He's going to say a few words, then he's going to read a poem, and then we have our Palestinian speakers are going to read the names of 50 children who have died in Gaza. And then we're going to have a moment's silence. Okay, so we've got a speech, a poem, names, and then a moment's silence. So after the last name of those 50 names is read out, we're going to fall in silence. Has everybody got that? Okay. Please welcome our next speaker, who is a patron of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign and comedian Alexi Sale.
Thank you. A letter came to my house the other day, and it was addressed to the occupier, so I sent it to Israel. I've never known, I've worked in the media for nearly 45 years now, and I've never known a time when the narrative has been more biased. The Israeli narrative is the one that's accepted. The Palestinian representatives are greeted with contempt, and the news is more or less 100% lies. And yet, despite that, the British people support Palestine. Imagine how much support we'd have if they actually told the truth. Nevertheless, there has always been attempts to control the story. In 2014, the Israelis killed what we thought was then the unprecedented number of 500 children in Gaza. A lobby group in Israel wanted to broadcast their names on the radio. The Israeli government changed the law so that they couldn't. So a great supporter of ours, Michael Rosen, wrote a poem. And this is the poem. It's called Don't Mention the Children. Don't mention the children. Don't name the dead children. The people must not know the names of the dead children. The names of the children must be hidden. The children must be nameless. The children must leave this world having no names. No one must know the names of the dead children. No one must say the names of the dead children. No one must even think that the children have names. People must understand that it would be dangerous to know the names of the children. The people must be protected from knowing the names of the children. The names of the children could spread like wildfire. The people would not be safe if they knew the names of the children. Don't name the dead children. Don't remember the dead children. Don't think of the dead children. Don't say dead children.
Layan Abed, 9 years old. Elia Muhammad Alewa, 9 years old. Farah Yasin, 9 years old. Farah Yasin, 9 years old. Al-Bara Yasin, 9 years. Arij Radwan, 9 years. Abdul Karim Radwan, 7 years. Manal Alewa, 7 years. Al-Muntasir Yasin, 7 years. Uday Abed, 7 years. Muhammad Abu Libda, 7 years. Sama Radwan, 7 years.
حبيبة أبو عيادة 5 years old. ميرا صيدم 5 years old. رندا شعبان 4 years old. جاد البردويل 4 years old. زين أبو عيادة 4 years old. سدرة الشاعر 4 years old. علين أبو عيادة 3 years old. حمزة القصير 3 years old. شام أبو حمد 3 years old. عمر أبو حمد 3 years old. فادي البردويل 3 years old.
أمير الحلو 5 years old. يحيى العكات 5 years old. سالي الطهير 4 years old. Musk al-Hilu, 4 years old. Juri Yasin, 4 years old. Abdul Aziz al-Hilu, 4 years old. Marwan Abu Lebedeh, 4 years old. Noura Radwan, 3 years old. Lara al-Hilu, 3 years old. Hamza Aliwa, 3 years old. Muhammad Mu'taz Ubaid Yasin, 3 years old. Amir Tahir, 3 years old.
Karam Eid, 2 years old. Anas Skeik, 1 years old. Salma Muhammad Ali, 1 years old. Jihad Haysen, 1 years old. Jamal Eid, 1 years old. Siraj Jawad Ali, 1 years old. Iyad Haysen, 1 years old. Ubaida Abu Malik, 1 years old. Abdul Hamid Ashur, 5 years old. Jamil Abu Hayya, 5 years old.
Can we now have a minute's silence for all the children? Those names were only 50 out of the thousands and thousands of children who have been killed. This is why we call for a ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Can those behind the stage please come onto the square? Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? Next up, please welcome Ibrahim Khadra, speaking on behalf of the families and of those killed in Gaza. Make some noise!
My little brother in Gaza, when I managed to call him, he keep asking me, where is people? Why we are alone on this? And I want you to answer him because they cannot see us in Gaza. They have no electricity. They cannot see you guys. Please show a message of support for everyone, and I will make sure to give this clip to all of them to show them that they are not alone. Let's show Gaza some support, guys. Let's show Gaza some support. Yeah. Free, free. Free, free. Free, free. Free, free. Thank you. The last 4 weeks have been filled with thousands of airstrikes and bombardment over civilians, infrastructures, hospitals, schools, mosques, churches. No place is safe in Gaza. And the people are literally counting the moments that are left for them being alive. Me and many others here today are from Gaza and have family and friends there. And it's heartbreaking that the place we call home today, the United Kingdom, is one of the main supporters of the atrocities that are being carried out by Israel against the Palestinian people. Gaza and every Palestinian around the world. Look at the situation through the lens of humanity, far away from any political agenda, and you will see the victims are innocent civilians which have been displaced, tortured, and killed. It's important, very important, to emphasize that Palestinian freedom and Jewish safety are not opposing causes. When we protest all over the world and chant from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, it doesn't refer to an elimination of Israel as wrongly stated by the UK government. It refers to the basic Palestinian right of having land that we can call our own, free from Israeli occupation and oppression, free from daily struggle and violence, and being stripped of our most basic rights. From the river to the sea, from the river to the sea, the only human and wise decision to make in this crucial moment and to avoid further catastrophes is calling for a ceasefire. We have had many examples of ethnic cleansing through human history. Entire ethnicities and minorities have been erased, and genocide took place in multiple countries. What they all had in common was responsible decision makers would act or condemn when it was too late. We cannot let this happen to Palestinians in Gaza. Ceasefire now. Finally, I'm a Palestinian British citizen who lost several members of my family in the shelling and bombing in Gaza, which did not spare anyone. I hold the British government fully responsible for giving the political green light and media cover to the Israeli occupation, who is committing war crimes, a de facto genocide in front of the whole world. I also place the entire legal responsibilities on them for rejecting the ceasefire resolution being voted for the United Nations. Lastly, I hold them fully accountable for the safety of all of my family and the remaining innocent people in Gaza Strip. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibrahim. There are thousands of us here in Trafalgar Square. I have never seen this square so full. And when I can't see you, if you're on the road behind me and you can hear me, please move out of the road and into the square, because the police are going to close the road to keep people safe from traffic. We have so many people here that we need to close the road. So come into the square so we can close that road safely, and then you're free to go back. Thank you. And of course, this huge gathering, this rally here today is just a small action in comparison to all the actions that are taking place across this country, on high streets, in train stations, in university campuses. Thousands of us are coming together to call for a ceasefire. We've seen train stations shut down. Yesterday we saw school students walking out in Bristol. We saw university students walking out in Glasgow. And more children and students are coming together on Friday to call for a school walkout on Friday. If you want to check it out, if you know children who want to be walking out of class, then you can find it School Strike for Palestine on Instagram. Now our next speaker is another Palestinian writer. Please give a big warm welcome to Sabrina Mahfouz.
years, built upon by other moments of mass murder. And during one of these moments of mass murder, in the winter of 2008-9, when the Israeli war against Gaza cost 1,391 Palestinian lives and 14 Israeli lives, a poet, writer, and academic from Palestine, Rafik Yada, wrote a poem most of us have probably heard by now. 15 years later, and it is devastatingly
completely full today, and I've been here on many, many, many occasions, and this is the fullest that I've ever seen it. Thank you for that. All over this country there are demonstrations, towns and cities all over, with huge crowds. All over the world there are people marching, demanding peace and justice for the Palestinian people. Weaving through dead bodies on a street, weaving through them, trying to show respect for the dead and get to a place of safety themselves. That is the reality of what is happening in Gaza today. Children dying in their hundreds, people dying in their thousands, buildings being destroyed, the whole life of Gaza being snuffed out, and I fear a population being expelled to form a new Gaza in the Sinai Desert in the future. Well, it's not done in our name, and we will be here as long as it takes to show support. We are not going to walk away and forget them. And so when our government shows the inability to even vote for a ceasefire at the UN, when all the political parties that ought to be speaking up for peace, for justice, for human rights, for international law, are silent. Silent to allow the killing to go on. Silent to allow this ghastly war to continue. So we will continue demanding that ceasefire and demanding the saving of life as a result of it. But these things all come from a point in history. They come from the Nakba, they come from the occupation. So spare a thought, if you would, please. Yes, of course, for the people of Gaza, but also for the Palestinian refugees in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Syria, and the Palestinian diaspora all over the world. And, of course, of the occupation of the West Bank and the settlement policy. I've spoken to many people in Gaza and the West Bank over the last few days. And a few minutes ago I was speaking to Nick Bowman, a lovely guy from Newcastle who walked all the way to Palestine as an act of solidarity. And I was just speaking to him on the phone, and I said, he's in the West Bank at the moment, give me a message. And he said this: Palestinian villages are under threat from heavily armed settlers working with the Israeli army. This is ethnic cleansing, accelerated since the 7th of October. Israel is using this opportunity to accelerate levels of violence. An entire village had to be evacuated. Then he concluded the message saying, this is a process of organised ethnic cleansing. People here really value the solidarity from you and all people. Samud, meaning steadfastness and strengthening their determination. Samud to all of us, solidarity with the people of Palestine, and demand a ceasefire now to save life. Thank you.
Ceasefire now!
wider British society across our country for their outpour of support, empathy and love. Your call for justice is of great importance to support the people of Gaza in these very difficult times. I would like to thank you all for continuously protesting the injustices taking place, for upholding the momentum, and for sending an important message to this government. Not in our name. Not in our name. Lots of politicians intend down in the street hear us from here. Not in our name. Not in our name. Standing here together today, we are undoubtedly send a message of rejection, a message of disgust, an objection to realizing of genocide committed against our people by Israel. The decision makers in this country have shamefully allowed massacres to happen, to be committed against innocent civilians, against children. The anniversary of the Balfour Declaration was mere days ago. This declaration makes Britain responsible for the historic suffering of the Palestinian people, making it even more urgent to this government to take action against the crimes of Israel committed in Gaza and in this land. The conflict didn't begin 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, but rather 106 days ago, during which Palestinian people tasted the scourge of occupation, killing, displacement, theft of land and deprivation of rights. In 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, Israel murdered more than 9,000 Palestinian soldiers. 9,000! And the government are still silent. 9,000, including 4,000 children. If we bring those 4,000 children and fit them in the schools of London, 11 schools, 11 children's school children have been murdered. 11 schools will be empty, no children in them. And what breaks our heart is those thousands who are still under the rubble of Europe. We don't know if they're alive or dead, thirsty, or they need food or oxygen. Some of them have been buried there for 4 weeks. 4 weeks, dying slowly and slowly, and our government is watching. Our government is watching. So my question is here today. How many school children should Israel murder so this brutal shed, so brutal bloodshed will stop? How many? How many school children should Israel murder so our government can listen and demand an immediate ceasefire? How many? How many entire families should Israel wipe out so the world steps in and stop this bloody carnage and this insane cycle of death and destruction? The Palestinians in the UK, who are relatives of the victims of the war in Gaza, are outraged and horrified over Israelis' appalling, inhumane and brutal policy of wiping out entire families in Gaza. Since the start of this ongoing indiscriminate aggression on Gaza's civilians, we have all witnessed the deliberate bombing of residential buildings, homes, schools, churches, mosques and hospitals that are full of families and children, most of them unfortunately displaced from their homes searching for safety. Hundreds of British Palestinians families in this country have been devastating, including my family, who've lost dear ones by the loss of their loved ones in Gaza because of this brutality. Many of them have lost their immediate family, including parents, siblings, and their spouses and children. And in addition to that, Israel is deliberately starving more than 2 million innocent people, children, women, and men in Gaza, with the continuous refusal to allow the most fundamental necessities, such as food, clean. These acts of brutal collective punishment committed by Israel against our people is not only illegal, but also goes against all the principles and values of international human rights.